Hello, today, just now, I learned about metrics, data, and analytics, and yesterday I learned about creative messaging and... No, I didn't. Let me see what I learned yesterday. But basically, right now, I learned about the difference between metrics and KPIs, and it's quite important to know about this if you want to run, for example, ads. If you want to run Facebook ads or Google ads for a client, if you're an agency owner like I'm going to be, because I'm going to be monetizing all this that I'm going to be learning for these 30 days. And then you need to learn some fundamentals, some basic core understanding. You have to have a basic understanding of, for example, today I learned again, as I said, metrics, data, and analytics. And for example, something I learned is the difference between metrics and KPIs. Key performance indicators is what it stands for. Let me hold the camera straight 1 second. Okay. So basically, I learned this. I'm learning these days. I'm learning a high income skill. Okay, and yeah. So a example, for example, what metric is basically numbers on a screen where you can track. Wherever you can track, it's basically numbers. For example, an example on metric is CAC, customer acquisition cost. What it costs for you to acquire new customers, basically, or for short, it stands for CAC. Another thing is another example of a metric is revenue. A company or your potential client in the future makes. And another example of a metric is clicks on a website. So basically, a metric is just a number, right, that you can track. However, a KPI, so a key point indicator, is a metric that is tied to a goal. So if we want to, for example, grow our visits on a website from 15K to 20K, from 15,000 to 20,000, then that is a KPI, because it is a key. I think it stands for key point indicator. Maybe I'm wrong. Even key performance. I think. Let me search it up real quick, so I don't say wrong stuff. KPI meaning. Okay, never mind. It stands for key performance indicator. Okay, so yeah, basically it is a metric that is tied to a goal. So if we want to, for example, go from 15,000 to 20,000 visits, then visitors to a website, that is a KPI. If we want to grow our sales, or if we want to have a bigger return on investment from our ad spend when doing Facebook ads, then ROAS, return on ad spend, is a KPI, basically key performance indicator. Okay, and that is the main difference. You have to understand that, and I think I grasped that understanding today, and I'm super glad I actually understood it perfectly fine. Yeah, so that is the main thing I learned today, and like how to kind of analyze these. I listened to a podcast for today's learning. I took notes. I made a diagram with the help of ChatGPT and NoGPT Workspace, which is a very powerful tool. I recommend it for just plugging a YouTube link into this, and it basically creates a whole summary. Very, very powerful tool, to be honest. But yeah, so that's for the podcast today. The podcast was 25 minutes. And then I also watched a YouTube video, 5 minutes approximately, how to what the difference between metrics and KPIs are, and what is data, what is KPIs, what is metrics, data and analytics, that kind of stuff. So in my learning today, to summarize, I watched and took notes, of course, from a video on YouTube. I used ChatGPT to find me the links to these. I didn't, search. I just used ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT found me the links. And I also listened to a podcast. I did an activity today also to help me realize if I actually understood today's concept or not. And I did the activity and or the task, and I kind of do these activities to kind of like homework, but I'm assigning this homework to myself, right? And so today's homework was basically find 5 metrics from wherever, or just come up with 5 metrics and see if you can list them. And I kind of had a hard time understanding, or not understanding, but like coming up. So I have I'm struggling just a little bit with the creative part. So I struggled with coming up with 5 different metrics, but I asked Gemini, and it helped me just a little bit, because I think I could just come up with 3, and I couldn't think of 2 more. Like I came up with the obvious ones, like visitors to a website, which one was it that I also came up with myself? I think it was, let me see here. It was sales and